Peace and blessings, everybody. I want to thank you for tuning in. It's another episode. We got a legend in the building, somebody I definitely admired growing up. Welcome to the show. For the viewers who may not recognize you, let them know who you are and definitely where you're from.
Oh, yeah, right. James Pax. I played the Lightning in Big Trouble of Little China, which is rated recently on the Hollywood press as the eighth baddest as nemesis of all time in kung fu martial art movies. And our movie our movie Big Trouble in Little China is rated as the second best, next to what is that? Karate Kid as the second best of all time kung fu martial art movies. Along with that, I worked in Hollywood, 40 more projects with many Hollywood stars. I also did a TV series called Nasty Boys back in the 1990 something for NBC. Movies Kinjite with Charles Bronson and Invasion USA with the legendary Chuck Norris and many more. I can't remember all of them. TV episodics and all of that. And then I ventured on to Asia to do 40 more movies. One of them that all the European and American fans will know. It's called, what's it called? The Heroic Trio. Yeah, with the Academy Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh, which grows actually 20 million USD in Asia. Back then was a huge hit. And now it's, again, a cult movie all around the world. Okay, that pretty much sums up what I did. But although I've done a lot more, go ahead and ask the questions, Tayu.
Wow, wow, that's really amazing. I mean, people dream of even, being involved in any of those projects to any capacity, but for you to let alone be one of the, top rated nemesis. I mean, I can agree with that, man. Growing up, you played an awesome role.
Thank you, Tayu.
Now, yeah, yeah, no doubt. Now I could ask you, you mentioned, the likes of Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris. If I could ask you about that right quick, I mean, what was it like working with, such legendary actors?
Well, first, let's talk about Chuck Norris. I have to say, there's only two actors that I totally respect in terms of martial art actors. One is the ultimate Bruce Lee. And he's the man that actually inspired me when I was a little kid. Because when I was a little kid, I was living in Hong Kong, and that's when he was already a huge international star. And I saw him on TV, getting interviewed, and then I saw the movie. I was totally impressed as a kid, and that's what inspired me to take up martial arts and becomes what I am today. The second person is actually Chuck Norris because they did the legendary scene, right? I cannot remember the name, the title of that movie, but in the Roman Colosseum. I can tell you that scene pretty much shot with only one camera. These days, Zhang Wu shoots it with 20 cameras, and all the other guys will probably shoot it with 3 cameras, and they only take it one camera, one shot at a time. But I can tell you that a brawl in the Colosseum will still remain as the most classic kung fu fighting scene of all time for another 100 years to come. No other scenes will ever beat that scene because it looks so real and looks just like two gladiators going at each other in a modern day in the 80s and really take each other out. It was so classic. That's why I say Chuck and Bruce are the ultimate. And just so you know, Chuck was a great person to work with. My part in Invasion USA wasn't very big, but I played a Japanese terrorist attacking America. Can you imagine? Back in the 80s, they were already, making that type of movie. It's like international terrorists attacking America inland. And then Chuck is trying to protect American interest and try to kill all the terrorists, including me. But he was very friendly. He was definitely very friendly, and his family, his wife was very friendly, and it was a great pleasure working with him. Although my scene with him directly was very short, is when he kills me actually. But the experience was amazing, and to tell you more, I just met him again after 35 years at the Texas Bell County ComicCon, because I was there doing my autograph signing and he was on the other side of the hall doing autograph signing. So I went over just to say hello, to see if he would still remember me, and he did. He said, "Oh my God." And then he gave me a big hug, and we took a picture. Later on, I can send you that picture so you can post it. But again, Chuck is a legend. He really excels in his. Back then, he was a world champion. And about Charles, yeah, Kinjite, I had a much bigger part. I was the second lead in the whole movie. And again, back in the 80s, I have to say, the parts for Asians always, a lot of nemesis, a lot of heavy. I played anything from Yakuza to Korean gang leader, and sometime to a Vietcong 60-year-old doctor, but he turns out to be a good guy, of course. And then parts like, Kinjite, I played a kind of messed up father, who touches little girls in the subway, Japanese subway. But it's not, sexual or anything, but he has a problem, a family problem and all of that. He has a hang up about young girls. But the role was quite outstanding. And my experience working with Charles, he was a very understated man. He doesn't talk much. I heard that at the time when he was making the movie, his wife had a cancer. So I guess maybe he doesn't want to talk to anybody. But I can tell you, he has a very kind eyes. So when he looks at you, you can just tell this man is a tough man, with a great body build and maybe a tough mind as well. But he has a very gentle eyes when he looks at me, and just shows that he's a gentleman. So I enjoy working with him, actually. Yes, very much. Yeah.
Wow, wow. I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, you mentioned some tremendous, some iconic, people, and you got an opportunity to work with them. So they like your peers. People dream about even meeting them, but you actually get an opportunity to perform with them and doing what you love to do. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Now let me see. You had mentioned something about Comic Con. What is that exactly?
Yeah, right. Comic-Con is something that's very, very popular now in the last 20 years. It's like getting like 5 to 10, sometimes even 40 of the celebrity actors, animation, voiceover actors together in a big convention hall, having tickets, maybe sometime 10,000, could be 30,000 in 3 days, sold out. And we just sit there meeting all our fans, lined up, say, "James, please, sign autograph for me." And we will give them an 8x10 photo with my autograph. And we give them like 10 to 30 seconds chat and go on to the next one, So it's very exciting. And just to give you my experience, because this is the first time ever I do a Comic-Con in America. And I tour 4 cities, New Jersey, Boston, LA, and Texas. And meeting fans between age of 15 to 70, believe it or not, 15 to 70. So a lot of parents, they love the movie, so they show it to their sons and daughters, and they all become my fans. I even have a fan family of like 10 people. So the mother brings the son and daughters to meet me, It was very exciting. And believe it or not, a lot of fans said, "Where have you been, James?" I said, well, I live in Asia now. We haven't waited 20 or more than that, 20 something years just to meet you. We couldn't even find you. I said, "Yeah, I know. I couldn't even find myself in America." So I totally enjoy doing it. And I'm looking to do more in Europe and perhaps in Australia as well.